lovely countryside. That is North Korea.
Yeah, white one. And the other side, 1 o'clock, the North Korean propaganda village. Okay?
There are two little villages way down that way, one from the north, one from the south, that were established under the Korean Armistice Agreement. That one is North Korea's. Now, you can't see them on my phone here, but if I were able to zoom in further, you would see two gigantic flagpoles. These were built during what was known as the Flagpole War of the 1980s. And it's exactly as it sounds. The South Korean villagers put up a flag. North Korea built one even higher. The South Koreans put up another flag, taller still, until the North Koreans won the contest by building the tallest flag of them all. And they're both still standing. The moral of the story is, we are a stupid species. Now I know what you're thinking. Why would you visit the DMZ? Haven't you been reading the news? Isn't it dangerous? The short answer is, yes, it is. I even had to sign a waiver acknowledging the possibility of death before going. But it was a chance to learn more up close about this weird stalemate at the world's most heavily fortified border. How could I pass that up? Plus, there was another important reason I was drawn to this. Had I been raised a South Korean, I would have had to serve 21 months of mandatory military service, and play some small part in the confrontation that these guys have right here, with this guy. Where his friends are, I couldn't tell ya. Oh, and why do they just stand and stare at each other like that? Well, I found out. Yeah, pretty tense to say the least. You could definitely hear a pin drop there. It's kind of astonishing that they even offer tours, but I was told by the guide that it's South Korea's way of flaunting capitalism in North Koreans' faces, so there's that. But to be honest, the most interesting place along the DMZ wasn't even the JSA. Neither was it the tunnel that we were allowed to step into where the North Korean soldiers tried burrowing into South Korea decades ago. No, for me, the most memorable visit along the DMZ was here. Dorasan Station. This station is the final stop of a train line meant to facilitate passage between the North and the South. It was built with the hope of a unified Korea, where passengers could move about freely, like they did not so long ago. And while the lights are on, nobody's home. It was tough to just stand there and imagine the families who were split by the war. My heart goes out to them. I mean, many of them are still waiting to see each other again when the two Koreas reunite. But currently, reunification still seems like a distant reality. I mean, Many of the Southerners didn't even want or expect Dorasan Station to be built. A lot of the locals didn't see the point of their tax dollars paying for something that they thought was a lost cause. And the only way the station is even standing is through private donations made by the families themselves, the names of whom are inscribed on this metal wall. These are the people who most desire reunification. And while the tracks have been laid, the walls are up, the station remains empty. It blows me away to think about how fast these two countries have been pitted against each other after sharing thousands of years of the same culture, language, and history. That's what struck a chord in me. Not necessarily what you usually see depicted in the media, communist versus capitalist, or even the threat of nuclear war. But rather, separation beyond one's control, and the maddening hope for reunification. It's a painful feeling, especially when you refuse to give up.